Hello and welcome back to my channel. So I turned 36 weeks this week. Where did that time go? I can't believe it that I'm starting to pack my hospital bag. I'm gonna film a what's in my hospital bag video this week. I'm also going to react to my last video and see what I think of what I took last time, because I've got no idea what I took. I don't really remember. This is going to sort of sum up week 34, 35 and going into week 36. So this week I have a couple of appointments. There's some big decisions to be made and checking up on him and stuff and seeing where we're going from there. So let's have a little look at Bump. He's big. I think he's started to drop a little bit. So my rib cage is here and he's getting down. And yeah, he's very big. He's very, very big. Don't mind actually showing you my bump. So he's very active still. So he's very baby shaped as well. So you can see that his bum's up here. Let me have a little feel. So I think his back is down here and his feet are out here, but I know he keeps moving, so he's not gone upside down. But the other night he was laying across here, you could actually see him, and then sometimes I feel kicks here, sometimes I feel kicks over here, but he's like so big. You see that? You see him out the other side. Let's put that away, no one needs to see that. So how have I been feeling? I have like a little collection of really lavender to help me sleep. It's challenging. I've found this pregnancy harder, but I know it's still a really good easy pregnancy compared to most, so it's one of those. I had a couple of comments asking like for TMI info, so I'll go a little bit deep but not too much. I don't want to share everything. I've had a lot of digestive issues with this kid since day dot. So the IVF drugs always cause bloating, they can cause constipation. I had heartburn really early on this time, and I got it with Orion from about 20 weeks, but with this one I think I've had it from about 6 or 7 weeks. So I have spoke about that they put me on a prescription. Now this prescription has side effects, so I will put the name of it in the comments below, or if you take it too much you end up with trapped gas. And it doesn't make you like really gassy, but it's like the gas pain, and it is really painful. When I was prescribed it, the doctor was actually is pregnant herself, and she said she only takes it every 2 to 3 days. Now even if I take it every other day, the second kind of time I take it I'm in pain. First time it was kind of up high on my tummy, but it kind of sits here, and it's just this kind of pressure. And I think now that he's bigger and sitting on this pressure, it's really painful. So then it puts pressure on your pelvis, your hips, and it's just really uncomfortable. And then you do obviously get quite gassy, but it's not something that alleviates very easily, if you get my drift. It just builds and builds this pressure, and it's just really painful. If I don't take it I get really severe heartburn, and it's not just a little bit of heartburn, it's so severe. I have it really badly, and I did with Orion. It's so painful that it affects my day. It literally affects my day, because then if I stand up and try and walk, I've not only got the weight of the baby, and at this stage it can be quite uncomfortable, but I've got this gas pain, and it's so painful. And then you just feel full, and I didn't really want to eat because I didn't want any more weight in my tummy. Yeah. I went for a walk the other day, and it's really slushy and uneven here because we had some snow, and because my feet were going like this and I had the gas pain and I had pelvic pain anyway, I felt like my hips were going to crack. It was horrible. So I have to make a decision of if I want gas pain or if I want heartburn. And there's no real like in between. So I think I'm going to try and take it every 3 days now. I've not taken it for 2 days. Maybe this is the 3rd day I've not taken it. My heartburn is through the roof right now. The day before last I could barely eat. I was struggling to drink as well, and I'm really pushing my water. And I've got my cup here, so I tried to have 2 litres a day, so 4 of these, and I managed like a cup and a half. I just couldn't have anything. They're kind of the main things. I have like had constipation issues on and off all the way through. I think it's quite common. I think, again, I don't recall it too much last time, but again this time it's been really bad. So basically the increased level of progesterone. No, progesterone was the bloating. It's the relaxin, sorry. So the relaxin that makes your like muscles nice and soft, ready for birth and everything. They basically just make the muscles soft, so it's hard to kind of get everything out. It's mostly digestive. What I do is I take fibre gel for twice a day, and that it helps, but it doesn't solve it. I just feel like I just don't want to eat at all. That's the thing. I have a more high fibre diet now than I did with Orin, for sure. I didn't eat particularly good with Orin towards the end. I'm still eating quite well. It's not the best at the moment, but I'm in that last few weeks and we're in lockdown, so you know, take everything as it comes. If you're pregnant, you're pregnant. I'm struggling to start to walk now. My hips are hurting quite a bit. Last week I started sitting on the ball quite a lot because I thought I want to make sure he's in the optimum position. With Orin, he was back to back and his head was tucked under. He was induced. I still think the induction had a lot to do with the things that went wrong and his positioning, because he was being like squeezed out. But I want to do all I can to prepare. And I did do a comment the other day on the community tab about, did you want me to try some labour inducing tricks? And I got quite a good response from it. So I'm obviously not going to start them until I'm 37 weeks. I'm not going to put myself or him at risk. There are things I won't try. I won't try castor oil. It's not very good for you. I won't try anything that's kind of consumption that's not natural. I will not drink castor oil. It's got no proven statistics. It basically is a laxative which may make your gut contract and then go into labour, but it can actually cause harm. You can end up with diarrhea from castor oil and then end up dehydrated. So I just know. There was the Miles method, which is really weird. It's 3 positions that you stay in for 30 minutes and it helps get the optimum position. So I was going to try that from 37 weeks, sorry. Dates I have most days anyway. So dates, that's actually got some statistics on it that it works. The walking is difficult because, as I said, my hips are really hurting at the moment. So I think I'm just going to concentrate on doing some movement on the ball, the Miles method and the dates. Like anything, unless your body's ready for labour, these things might help get the baby in the right position, but I don't personally believe that they will bring the baby on. I mean, when you're medically induced, then it takes 4 days, including 4 sweeps, and it takes 4 days. I don't see how having a shot of castor oil or 6 dates is going to make that any better. I'm going to have a go though, and see how we get on. Yeah, most of my pain is in my hips and my groin. When I sat on the ball, I had a lot of pain in my kind of groin area there. So since I'd done that though, I didn't mean to sit on it for 2 hours. I just ended up doing some work and I was just sat on it and kind of rocking. And then I felt like I had aches. So I'd had this big workout. But then afterwards, the next day, was a lot of pressure. I had the gas pain as well, but a lot of pressure low down. And I'm pretty sure it did get him to move down a little bit. I'm consciously trying to sit on the ball more because I am at home more, obviously, like we all are. I am sitting on the sofa a lot. Since I've started sitting on the ball, so basically make sure that you are kind of sitting forward and you're not slouching, because if your pelvis gets tucked under, that's when the baby can get in the wrong position and go back to back. But kind of sitting forward, it stops that happening because your hips are going back. Now, since I've started sitting on the ball, I find it really uncomfortable to sit on the sofa. Really weird, isn't it? I say slouching is really uncomfortable. So I'm sitting now on the edge of my bed, on the edge of the sofa, really upright, and it just feels so much more comfortable. So one thing you definitely need to get is, just pull it out of my bed, a pregnancy pillow. This has made my life so much easier. One of the positions in the Miles method is basically how I sleep. So I sleep with my leg up and I'm kind of hugging here. I don't have this under my bump, but my knees really hurt if they touch. It's really strange. So I normally was a side sleeper and a front sleeper, but I feel like my hips must have widened and my knees are like this and there's pressure, and even my ankles. So I make sure that the tail of this is down the lower length of my leg, so I'm not kind of knocking my knees into my ankles. I've felt the effects of relaxing a lot more. The hormone relaxing, not relaxing. I wish. Insomnia has been pretty bad. This week it's been a bit better. I was just not able to sleep for no reason, or I was waking up having the weirdest, most vivid dreams / nightmares. So that's been fun. Not getting any proper sleep and then having, to be up because we've got a toddler. I've been trying different techniques. I've been using lavender on my pillow, which does seem to help keep me asleep a bit deeper when I get there. and I've been trying to cut down on technology at night, which has helped a bit. And I will read my Hypnobirthing book, which goes with the course that I reviewed, and it's really good actually. It does repeat a lot of the course, but helped reinforce what the course has taught me. So I've been trying to do that, but not too much, because I was wondering if I was reading this and then it was kind of setting off my anxiety about the birth. I'm not sure. He's really, really active. Yeah, he's definitely a mover. I do go through phases, apart from the other day, that I just want to drink and drink and drink and drink and drink. And this week we've got the kind of consultant appointment, which was 6 months since I last saw him, and this will be the kind of decisions of how I'm going to have him and how it's going to go forward. I really want an intervention free feedback, so a vaginal birth after cesarean section. We need to see his size and things like that and make some decisions. I'm also not sure if I'm changing hospitals, because they lost half of my 28-week blood tests and I had to have them redone last week, 6 weeks late. So I need to get the results of those because of everything that went wrong last time. And a lot of it was, I believe, down to the hospital. It kind of made me feel very, very anxious about having this one there. I'm a little bit anxious anyway, because I know how busy the hospitals are. I keep seeing horror stories about births in corridors or the partner not getting there in time. But Tom's planning to camp out in the car, so we're going to drop Orin off with Tom's mum, who is in our car, our childcare bubble anyway, and then he's just going to sit in the car, because my labour, even though it didn't go right, was very, very fast. And they said to me, if he wouldn't have got stuck, they think it would have been like 90 minutes. So we don't really want to be messing around, because we live 20 minutes from the hospital, and that's without traffic. So we're almost there. I'm looking forward to meeting him now. So we've pretty much finished the nursery. So I was going to do a nursery tour. If you want that, pop it below. I love this nursery. It's so much different to Orin's. We had so much fun doing Orin's, and it was a bit easier because we obviously didn't have Orin then, so we could spend time doing it together, but we're having to kind of doing it around each other, around Orin, things like that, and work. I just feel like it's been really hard to get into this pregnancy because of lockdown and, you know, go shopping and look at things, but then all the big shops have closed, like Mother Care. We used to love walking around Mother Care and like buying stuff. It's just a very different world at the moment, and everyone's struggling with lockdown. So I don't get contacted and much and checked in on and, you know, ask how I'm getting on. So it feels like this poor little baby's been forgotten by many people. And I'm sure so many people feel that way. And I really feel for you first time mums as well, that I really feel like you've missed out on it all. I planned this time. My baby shower was sort of forgotten last time, but a couple of friends did something last minute for me. But I wanted to do my own one and thought, you know what, I've been through a lot to get this baby, and this one again. So I was going to throw myself a little baby shower, but obviously there's not going to happen. So I think we're going to have to do a meet the baby party. I think that's also quite sad, that I think it's apparent that people aren't going to get to meet him. My dad, my brother won't get to meet him for a few months, which is quite sad. With what's going on in the world, it could be a lot worse. So you have to kind of stay positive. And as horrible as it is that certain people and your friends won't get to meet your baby, I've said this before, probably in a video, it can be so overwhelming having that many visitors. And I was absolutely shattered last time. And I remember just walking around doing stuff, and Tom's like, sit down, you've had a C-section. And you forget. And you have these visitors that pop by and they'll stay for 2, 3, 4 hours. Then they go, and then you're left with, you know, tidying up the baby, everything else. And obviously we're going to have Orin this time as well. So it's going to be quite nice that it's just going to be the 4 of us. As difficult it's going to be not to have as much support, it's going to be better in a way that we can just focus on us and settling Orin in. He is so excited about being a big brother. He kisses my bump. He checks I'm okay. He's like, Mummy, you okay? He said he's going to teach his little brother how to sing. Make sure you give me a follow on Instagram, because there's some brilliant footage of Orin. I know a lot of you ask for Orin, but I just don't really have the time to vlog because of my business. So I do little videos and reels of Orin and what he gets up to. And he's like, being very, very biased, but he's the most amazing little boy ever. We had his nursery report last week and he sounds like he's just a wonderful little boy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how he adapts. Because he's also saying, you know, but he doesn't have my toys, does he? So, you know, he's a 2-year-old. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's our little update. I will give you all an update when I have this appointment and make my decision on where I'm going to have him. I am considering a home birth, but I'm also a little bit anxious about it because of the transfer to the hospital. So a couple of things to get through. Any videos you like, anything you want to know, pop it below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.